Hi everyone, it's Renee with Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. This week I am the Growing in Unity guest. I've done this a few times before. The last time was last October, and I did that over the week of Delaney's birthday. So I will link that one for you. But today I wanted to share a project that I had made a few weeks back. This was a special card made for a young man that was graduating, and I used I would call it collage style when I made this card. The Unity stamps are front and center, but I used a lot of other things to support my images. These two stamps here in particular are the ones that I featured. They're this heart, this globe heart, which is kind of one of my favorites. I'll have to tell the story one day, but I was a globe junkie when I was younger. And then the boy that is graduating. So the young man that is graduating, he was born in Guatemala and he was adopted into the United States by his family. So the woman that asked me to make this card was kind of telling me little bits and pieces about him. So to support those Unity images, I am using some digital images that I found and I'm coloring them. I'm not going to show it all here. I just wanted to show how I do this kind of stuff when I do color something custom. I totally look it up on my phone and just copy it. I also wanted to share that there are giveaways. Every time I do this Growing in Unity thing, Unity is first of all, Unity is a company that is right in Minnesota. Now, I live in Wisconsin, so I call that pretty local. Well, and the fact that I lived very near the state line, the Wisconsin-Minnesota state line, for several years. So where they are there is pretty local to me. But they are a red rubber stamp company. Now, during this whole pandemic thing, they did come out with a few digital images. They also now have paper and a card kit, but they also have like a monthly, just a stamp kit that you can get. But they are red rubber stamps, and they cook them in the warehouse, so cook to order, so they don't run out of anything. They also don't need to retire anything, which is very, very cool because all of the stamps that I have, you can still buy them all. So it's really nice to be able to say, oh, hey, I use this. You can still get it, even though I bought it 10 years ago. So I have not been a fan of Unity quite that long. During the week, I will share a little bits and pieces about the story about how I did fall in love with Unity stamps and how I found them. But I will tell you right now that I found them in 2013 and have been a fan ever since. Here I am just coloring up this graduate with a deeper skin tone because I did see a picture of the young man and I wanted to make this image match him. I also chose a red combination for his gown, graduation gown. I really went with the color theme of his school, and I tried to make this very, very personal. That is one thing I absolutely love about making my own cards. I can make them 100% personal. I'm able to take every little bit that was shared with me about this young man and put it into a card. I know that the woman that asked me to make this, I know when she got it, she liked it. At least she told me she liked it. She could have been lying. I don't think she was. I think one nice thing is you're able to really find something that specifically says this person. If you're making something for Uncle Jack, you can really make something super personal for Uncle Jack, right down to, you joke around every Christmas and give him an ugly sweater. You can find the perfect ugly sweater stamp over at Unity, or just in general when you're making cards. You can find the most perfect stamps and dies and stencils and pattern papers to make everything absolutely perfect. And it's not something that 8,000 other people that go to the local store can also find. So That is one thing I absolutely love about making cards. Oh, back to Unity and them being very generous. So this week I'll be sharing a video every day, Monday through Friday, and then I'll also have a coordinating blog post. You can enter every day. There'll be 2 winners, I believe. I'll have all the details in the description below, but every day that you enter is another chance for you to win. And I'm going to be pulling comments from both places. So if you just follow me on my blog, I will be pulling winners from there too. And if you just follow me here, I will also be pulling winners. I will be posting these cards on my Instagram as well, just linking back to this video. So if you leave a comment on my Instagram, I appreciate you, but that will not enter you because it's just way too many places for me to check. So here I'm just finishing up the red coloring. Like I said, made this one a little while ago, a few weeks back, and I do have a little bit of footage that is missing. So I'm going to apologize for that right up front. But I did leave in this coloring, and I have been slowing down the coloring so you can see more of what's really going on. I do enjoy watching coloring, but I was finding that the videos were becoming less enjoyable to watch when I sped up the coloring too much. So you are going to get longer videos on my channel now with slower coloring. I hope you're okay with that. That's what I'm going to do. That's already decided. I'm curious, when you graduated high school, what color was your capping gown? Mine was black. Our school colors were black and orange, but my son, his school colors were red and white, my oldest son, and my stepdaughter, I believe hers was black as well. I know that like middle school and grade school, lots of them around here are blue when they do graduation, but I'm really curious, what were your school colors and what color were your capping gowns? Did they coordinate? Was it just black? I'm curious. Like I said, mine was orange and black, and our caps and gowns were black. Although now I'm questioning whether my brother graduated from the same high school. Now I'm wondering if his was also black or if it was a different color. I don't really remember. So I added the little gray, I think those are usually like yellow, those bands that go around your neck, like honor. I don't even know what those are called. It's been a very long time since I graduated high school, if you can't tell. And then I made the tassel yellow just because I thought it would be easier to have it yellow instead of like multicolored. So here's all the images that I colored and cut them out. And I pulled out some pattern papers. These are some super old pattern papers. They're by Basic Gray, I think. I had gotten them at Big Lots on clearance, so a clearance store on clearance a long time ago. And I don't always pull these ones out. I do like them, but I don't always pull them out. So I just pulled some out that coordinated from a couple of different pattern paper pads, and then the black, the shiny glossy black, that's from a DCWV, Decades with a View, I think. But I'm going to do like some collage style. You can see all the pieces I had. I did show some dies in the beginning that I did not end up using. The graduate die, that is from Cheapo Dies. I am on the Die Cut Divas challenge blog, and that is the sponsor this month, so I thought I'd throw one of those in. So a few things about him. Guatemala is in his history, his past. So that skyline that you see, that is a Guatemalan skyline. The flag that is not the American flag, that is a Guatemalan flag. And that's a little beer can down there because I was told that he enjoyed beer. And then I'm going to bring in this stamp set here by Joy Claire Designs. I think these are the perfect size numbers. They're called big numbers. I thought they were the perfect size, and they coordinated really well with all of the pattern papers and this whole concept of the graduation card. So I am going to stamp 2020 up in the corner. Now, I could have done something like pandemic related. I figured that this kid was not going to forget that he graduated during the pandemic. Who forgets that stuff? he is going to be 107 years old, and he's going to be like, you know what? Graduated in a pandemic, did not need a card to remind me of that. So I steered clear of that, although I did include a globe because, the world is his. I mean, this kid has already conquered so much. He has a forever family. I believe he was adopted when he was a baby, so I don't think he put much effort into becoming adopted, but he has a forever family, and now he graduated high school in all of this madness that's going on globally. So I feel like the world is his. This kid deserves that. I did heat emboss this 2020 with some clear embossing powder just to make it shiny, to add just another element here, because this collage style, the lady that asked me to make this, her name is Heidi. Hi, Heidi. She is very much this kind of an artist. She got into card making. She makes cards as well, but she got into card making through mixed media. And when I was making this, I was kind of trying to channel her. This is not my usual style, although I do tend to use like paper tearing and stuff with masculine cards. So this, the flags were kind of still pretty light, and I had kind of ink blended the skyline just a little bit. So I wanted to ink blend the United States flag just a little bit more and the Guatemalan flag. And then I added in the stars back in with the gel pen. Just little dots. I did not draw stars. I am not that good. I did use a fine gel pen there to do that, and then I just ink blended over. And then for the skyline here, I wanted it to be just a little deeper. It didn't need to be like perfectly blended. I just kind of wanted to grunge it up just a little bit. And then when I had trimmed it out, there was kind of a space underneath the city skyline there, so I just ink blended over that just a little bit as well. I also wanted to dull down the torn edge from this red paper. I just thought it would coordinate better. I feel like if I was a kid receiving a graduation card, something custom like this would be probably one of my favorite things that I would have received. I mean, of course, the money inside would have been grand as well. So I did take the brush that I'm using, which is a dollar store blending brush, and I kind of bent the flags so that they have some motion in them. I don't know if it shows very well in the final photos, but you can see it in real life. It does show up pretty well. I also ink blended the little beer can and the heart globe. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment that's going to go on my globe here. I believe it says, "The world is yours." We'll see when I stamp it, because now I don't remember. And I had to take my black pad out of there because, well, if you're using rubber stamps, you don't need that black pad. That kind of compensates for the foam. The world is yours. See, look, I was right. That's what it says. So I did stamp that onto the globe, and then I am going to heat emboss that with the same clear embossing powder just to make it stand out. That globe is colored with Copics. I didn't leave that in because all I really did was fill it in and shade it just a little bit around the edges. I did nothing special. Not a single thing. This card is basically built by the stamps and the digital images that I used, and I just went to some clip art and got some free clip art. That's all I did. And then I printed it, colored it, and cut it out. That's what I did there. So here I'm just going to layer everything up. That black pattern, or that black paper, is shiny and glossy, so that does tie in like the embossing that I used. And I'm going to stick the red and the black papers together first, and then adhere them down together, because sometimes I struggle getting things straight, and this was the easiest way to do that for me anyway. And then I kind of am going to divide the card basically in half with this skyline, and it's going to visually cut the card in half. So you'll see here that you have that in the background, and it does very much fade to the background, but it doesn't disappear, but it's definitely faded. So then I'm going to tuck in, see the Guatemalan flag behind him and the American flag in front of him. I do have the silhouette of the graduate, but the things that steal the show here are those very large images by Unity Stamps, and these have been in my stash a while. I want to say at least 3 years. This graduate one and The World is Yours, I've probably had that even longer. I have, well, later this week I'll show you the very first Unity stamp that I ever received, and I'll make a card with that so you guys can see. But it's all still available in the store, and I value that about Unity Stamp Company, that things do not expire, and that's one thing that I will tell you over and over again, that stamps and dies do not expire. They do not have a shelf life. I know a lot of companies only have so much storage space, and that's why they have to retire things. Uh, Unity is not like that. They have to store plates and they cook them to order, so they don't have to store, hundreds of stamp sets and hope that they um, sell out before they, bring other stuff. So all I did was stick everything down kind of right where it was, and you see here in all these still shots how everything did end up looking. I didn't have the end of the footage for some reason, but it is what it is. And I like the way that this turned out. It kept with that red and black theme, but I like that I brought the globalness of it in. And then here is what I did end up putting on the inside. Congratulations, graduate, you did good. And that is from another Unity stamp set, and I'll have that link below. Thank you for stopping by, and as I always say, give cards generously. Bye.